Hello, and welcome to Everything to Guppy, a show about every boss, and boss in the Binding of Isaac. I'm Nick Lauber, and I'm here, as always, with a man who is a towel, Will Hughes.
Nick,
Yes.
I've been waiting for someone to describe me accurately my whole life, and finally, that day has happened. I'm fluffy. I'm absorbent. People throw me on the floor when they're fucking done with me so that the wait staff at the hotel know to replace me.
Correct.
I'm a towel.
You're a towel. Yeah, I couldn't.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy fans are a little too obsessed with me.
That's true. I mean, I don't know. I don't think they're really all that obsessed with you. They just really like having the slogan on bad t-shirts.
Yeah, that's true. Having me on their t-shirts does seem to make them happy.
Yeah. A lot of nerd fandom just comes down to having bad slogans on t-shirts.
I would say 99%. I'm wearing my Comedy Bang Bang shirt right now, and I feel like I'm really participating in the moment.
You know, Will, mine, because Gary's not here, mine is a wonderful Frieza shirt in celebration.
Frieza, son of Cooler?
That's the one.
Murderer of Krillin?
The very one, the one slain by Future Trunks.
I know we've been referencing like streams a lot, and I know I've said this before on the show. If you would like to watch the funniest hour of my life, an hour I still think back on fondly and sometimes watch the recording of, if you go to like Duckfest like 2017,
yeah,
it's saved in the on the Duckfeed Twitch channel, and watch the Brigmore Witches stream wherein we tortured Gary for I think literally 25 minutes straight.
Way too long.
With increasingly terrible Dragon Ball Z riddles, essentially, that he did not want to participate in and did not enjoy.
Absolutely not. And it was a really incredibly fun time, and also very revealing about not only you and myself, but also our friend Ben Krickenberger.
Yeah, our dearly departed friend Ben.
Yeah, our dearly departed friend Ben, and our wealth of knowledge about a very bad anime series.
Who has maybe the funniest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. When I'm going to spoil it because it's too
Please.
funny to me. After we had been doing this thing, the game was we would make this pun and then Gary would just make an answer that did not say the Dragon Ball Z thing. And then Ben just leans into him and goes, "No, you fucking moron."
Oh
man.
gracious.
Oh, were we ever so young? It's Boss Sunday.
There's more to life than
Boss.
so take a chance and face the
Boss.
open road and a road that's hit brand new
Boss.
around the
Boss.
Yeah, I'm glad you said it. I was trying to find time to say it as well.
Well, trying to get a word in edgewise with me is never a good bet.
Fair. We're talking about Rag Mega.
I'm Nick. I love having you on the show. I'm genuinely sad Gary isn't here because we've been talking up this boss for like
Really?
years, literally, of us disagreeing about whether this is a great boss or not.
Which side did you land on?
I love this guy. I fucking love this guy.
I think design wise, I think he's cool. I like that he's just essentially a cross between two bosses. But playing him, like, I think any boss with a undamageable state is automatically bad, and he has one of those. So
I am normally very sympathetic to that view, but I like this implementation of it. So this is the evolved version of Ragman, who's already one of my favorite bosses of the tier he appears in.
yeah,
So this is a big floating ball. It's like his head detached and got really big.
and he looks a lot like Duke of Flies.
He does
at that point.
He's not very durable.
No, 120 health.
Yeah, so what he does is he floats around the room and he either fires beam. He either spawns a Ragling or tries to revive Raglings, or periodically he breaks purple balls off of himself that chase Isaac around. And when he does that, he's usually invincible.
Yes.
Until you destroy the balls, usually.
Right. Yeah, and the purple signifies homing shots, just like they did on Ragman, so they're chasing you all around. And this time, instead of being little one-off shots that are being flung at you, they're balls that stick around and chase you around the room.
So this fight just puts a ton of shit on the screen in a way I find actually really enjoyable. Again, like, he melts pretty fast as long as you're like killing the balls and keeping him down. But
right.
I don't know. I really like the pace of this one. It goes very fast. It's very very exciting.
He's definitely not the worst, but I wouldn't put him among my top favorite bosses to fight. Probably, he's definitely Midland to me.
All right, well then, fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you too, bud.
Nick, cordially, go fuck yourself.
Okay, I can do that.
Signed, Will.
Dearest Will, I have accepted your request for me to fuck myself. I have done so post haste, and return the request to you.
Your obedient servant, A.Ham.
And .glob.
Nick, do you like your last name, Nick?
I'm not against it. Like, honestly, I didn't get as bullied for it as you might think. The one kind of comical twist on it came much later in life when I could appreciate it as a receiver of...
Yeah, as a work of joke craft, I assume.
Right, and it was Dick Slobber, which I'm totally for.
Yeah, I mean, it's of the slobbers, it's one of the most beautiful.
I agree. Yeah.
Listening in the moonlight?
I also, listeners may or may not know, have red hair, or at least reddish hair. Never really received much of the mockery that is supposed to come to those who have red hair either. So I lived a very privileged life in terms of having things that are easy to bully, and wasn't really bullied for them.
Yeah, no one's ever referred to you as a four-eyed ginger fuck?
No, not until just now, Will.
I don't know that I referred to you as it. I asked if you had been referred to it, and this would hold up in court. Definitely this defense.
Well, have you ever been referred to as a? I'm not.
No, go ahead,
too nice.
Nick. No
nice,
hesitating. Dive in.
I can't. I really tried to dig into the plumb the depths of the worst possible things I could say to you, and what came up was unspeakable, and I therefore.
Oh man, now I really want to hear it.
I'm sure it just would have been, making fun of like weight or something. It's not.
What?
Well, I'm sorry to be the one to have to inform you of this, but
am I fat?
You are a little bit overweight.
Overweight supposes that there's a weight we're supposed to be. I am Zoftic.
I'll take that. I agree with you. You are at slightly higher risk of certain sorts of diseases due to your current body build.
See, I think even some people would push back. Like some people would declare that fat phobic. Let's really get into this, Nick.
I can see that.
I mean, do I have fat guy diabetes? I sure do. I had
it's okay. I have
drank
skinny guy
much
diabetes, so I think it all.
You have what? You have what? How did you describe it?
Skinny guy diabetes.
Yeah, you have feel bad for the child diabetes. I have the other one. Dr. House would not yell at you for your diabetes.
No.
Is the best way to... That's how I think about all medical diagnoses. Would Dr. House yell at me for having this?
There's two kinds of diabetes. The one where a fictional TV doctor would yell at you about it. The other kind where he'd probably let loose a single tear.
No one could see it. Maybe he'd let Wilson see it.
Yeah, right.
But never Chase. Never Cameron.
He'd kind of cover the top of his head as he tucks his chin into his shoulder a bit, and one person would notice that a singular tear of remorse and sadness.
But then he'd be like, "Nah, I was just riding my motorcycle."
Right. Yeah.
Wind got in my eyes.
I was just being a fucking genius.
Just a fucking genius. Just the Sherlock Holmes of child diabetes.
Right.
Why didn't Sherlock Holmes is so smart? Why didn't he cure diabetes? Right.
It's true. He'd never solved that mystery.
Not even the Will Ferrell version of him, who you'd think could, if no, boy. You see that movie?
Where are you going with this, bud?
The Will Ferrell Sherlock Holmes movie?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm not going, Nick.
No, please. I want you to explore why that incarnation in particular would be well suited to solving the mystery of type 1 diabetes.
Well, I don't know. Like, he's friends with John C. Reilly, you think? I don't know. I'm not going anywhere with this, Nick. You gotta bail me out of this bit. Okay. I have no reason except that I recently listened to the Flophouse episode about it, so it was in my fucking head. You're really calling me to the carpet here, Glauber.
I am.
Doc Glaub.
I was being mean. I apologize.
Hey, no. I apologize for you being mean to me.
I accept that.
Thank you. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Nick, we've come to the end of a week of Everything to Guppy, and there's no segments that I'm talking past that you were going to try to shoehorn in, so we're going to just end the show.
It's the AFLC.
Motherfucker.
Good. You're on time, Negaduck drawled. He looked more self-satisfied than Darkwing had ever seen him. Where's Goslin? Darkwing demanded, stepping forward. His heart was in his throat. He tried to be heroic and strong. Inside, he was more afraid than he'd ever been before. Negaduck smiled again. Why, she's right here, he said, pulling a hand from behind his back, held up the duckling. But the sight of Gosling, instead of giving him relief to the crime fighter, stopped him in his tracks. He heard Launchpad behind him giving an articulate low moan. Every bone in Darkwing's body seemed frozen, cold, and stiff. His heart barely beat.
Pause 1 second, Nick, pause.
Yeah.
Are we about to meet Nega Goslin?
I really wish we were. You, when I finished this segment, if you weren't so fucking interrupting me in the middle, I will reveal exactly what it is we've been reading here. And,
okay.
You can therefore reach out to them and tell them the better way they could have taken the story. Continuing, Goslin was hanging limply from Negaduck's hand. She appeared to be unconscious and had a small welt showing on one feathered cheek. That, however, was not what frightened Darkwing so. Goslin was sick. Even at that distance, he could see that her feathers were matted, tinged with brown, and appeared to fall out whenever she moved at the slightest, even to breathe. He could see sweat running down her bill to make a puddle on her purple shirt, and any father would have heard the ragged, gasping, desperate breathing of his daughter.
Oh no.
Negaduck held her by the back of her jersey, and by the way her body shook with every intake of air, it looked as though she were weaker than any baby. What's the problem? Negaduck teased. Isn't she pretty enough for you? As he was enjoying himself so much, watching the emotions of fear, anger, hurt, worry, despair, and hopelessness chase each other across Darkwing's face. He wanted to make that moment last as long as he could. What did you do to her? Darkwing demanded, his voice weak, somehow deflated. I poisoned her, Negaduck responded simply. Seeing recognition draw on his enemy's face, he continued, Come on. Didn't you think you were you didn't think you were the only possible target for my robbery the other night, did you? How dumb can it get? He broke into a long train of maniacal laughter. As he laughed, Goslin swung from his hand, her head bobbing at a strange angle.
And that was the AFLC.
That was the AFLC.
Nick, did you know how long that section would be when you started it?
I purposely made that last one much longer than the rest.
Sure. So I for the love of God, I thought she was going to have COVID. So
that would have been really good. You have so much better ideas than the writer of A Father's Love, the most popular Darkwing Duck fan fiction on fanfiction.net, has done here. So I really suggest you reach out to them and suggest your improvements, despite them not having updated this since April 3rd of 2007.
Well, perhaps they just haven't had the right inspiration in 13 years.
COVID, I think, they probably have a lot more free time on their hands. Give me 1 second, I'll stop this noise.
Sure. Yeah, I just think it'd be really interesting if Goslin had COVID. Like, I feel like, and obviously it would be prescient. We'd have to be, like, looking at this fan fiction to see what else it had predicted about our current life. Maybe some sort of large orange duck would be president that we all hated and might be trying to launch some kind of horrible coup. Perhaps.
Your ideas for this are really good.
What?
I'm back, by the way.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I was just speculating on what other things that this fan fiction could have predicted besides COVID, because in my memory, she did have COVID.
It was some great vamping about your suggestions to Medea. Wait, Medea? Mendia.
Oh, for a second I thought maybe my Tyler Perry friend Medea had written this. Which
there's an N in there that I missed upon first reading, so...
that's too bad, because the idea of Medea writing Darkwing Duck fan fiction when she's not going to jail,
or maybe in jail.
What?
Maybe she wrote it in jail.
Oh, Oh, like some kind of like prisoner creativity program that they make podcasts about.
And then, she sneaks some...
They should have Medea on, what's that podcast called? Ear Hustle? Yeah.
She snuck her way into one of the security guards' computers to post upon fanfiction.net her magnus opum of...
Nick, do you think after Tyler Perry dies, he'll reunite with Jim Varney so that they can do Ernest and Medea in jail together?
That sounds pretty good.
It
is pretty sad that those two characters didn't meet. There is a very similar vibe there, huh?
Yeah. I don't think... Nick, if I'm being honest, from what I know of Medea, she would not put up with Ernest's nonsense.
Definitely not, but that's what that would be their relationship, right? Like, he would, try and do something dumb.
Oh my
Medea
God.
would very much shut that down, but the result would still be something equally as dumb in the end.
Yeah, it's the unstoppable force meeting the unmovable object.
Correct. Ernest meets Medea.
Well, I try to keep us to one absolutely genius idea per week of podcasting, so we've just hit our quota.
Mm-hmm.
Nick, if people enjoy this show, what should they do?
Well, they should head on over to patreon.com/Duckfeed.tv and give us some money.
And by us, you mean Will, because Nick's not getting paid.
It's true. I'm not getting any of this goddamn money.
Yeah, maybe don't donate this week.
Yeah, don't fucking give them any money. No, I'm just kidding. Give them money because that's what allows some of my most dearest friends to do what they love and to not starve doing it. So,
and allows me to buy Switch games.
Correct.
You can also leave us a review like this one, which was left on Podcast Addict by my pal BRB_coffee. I said pal, but I don't know him from Adam. They might be bad people, but they did give us 5 stars. A show where the hosts consistently ask, is this listenable, but never at the right time. Love you both.
I love that's clearly intended at you and me.
Yeah, absolutely. Nick, they got you.
I love you too.
They burnt you.
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
Oh, they burnt you.
They burnt me?
I'm a bad person, so I was focused on the part where they were making fun of us, not the part where they said they love us. Because that part, I don't even see. That's a disease Gary and I have in common besides diabetes.
That's true. I've got the opposite disease. Which is why I feel there was such a different energy to the week that Brayton and I took over. I think we both have the opposite disease, where we're unable to see the bad.
You're sweet, good people, and Gary and I are bitter cranks.
Right. And that's why we're all such good friends.
Yeah, I think we really balance each other out. Like
opposites attract, as Paula Abdul once said.
As did MC Scat Cat. Do not erase MC Scat Cat.
I apologize. I didn't mean to further the Scat Cat erasure that we've been going through.
Oh, Gary, you probably need to buy milk.
Yeah, Gary, get on that.
Yeah, this is just... I forgot that I'm also using this as my way to communicate with Gary this week. So yeah, Gary...
You're walking through the grocery store. You just passed it, like...
Yeah, go
2
back.
hours ago.
Also, Gary put that fucking nut butter back.
Too high in calories.
Well, also because he definitely did the PLU switcheroo. So he's trying to like...
Yeah.
Put a... Do you know he fucking does that?
Yeah, the fucking peanut butter on the almond butter label or whatever. Come on, dude.
Like you're robbing the fucking store, man.
I mean,
You're raising Safeway prices for everybody. I got a little Wallace Shawn there.
Yeah.
Inconceivable!
Do it to... If you're gonna do it, just do it at Whole Foods. Whole Foods is okay.
Yeah, do it so
Safeway,
that you're fucking Bezos.
Also, also a massive corporation, but they're not Bezos.
They're not Bezos. I wish Elon Musk had a supermarket.
Grocery store we could rob.
That we could rob, yes, Nick, exactly. Oh my god, and like there'd be like rocket engines on the fucking carts and shit.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic.
Can't wait to get home and eat these Grimezos.
The fucking like PA just constantly
Nick
plays
Grimezos, Nick Grimezos.
I got it, dude. PA's constantly.
There we go. There's that guppy energy.
Constantly playing Joe Rogan Experience instead of like Top 40.
Oh my god, that's the worst idea I've ever heard. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And we've now exceeded our genius idea allotment for the week, and so that's Night Vale, baby.
That's Night Vale, baby.
Anything that loves me in this moon. sleeping.